come from profits. So include dividends as well would be double counting. And it's the same thing with associates. But I'm about to plug my share of the associates profit.
Okay. Good day, audience. This is Mustafa Ahmed Mirchawala, your trainer from Mirchawala's Hub of Accountancy. Let me introduce you myself. Majority of you knows me before. I have been teaching for last almost 17 to 18 years, and my subjects are financial reporting of all level, basic, advanced, super advanced. Even I teach ICW corporate reporting, and also I teach UK taxation F6TX, right? Okay. One more thing I do, I also do corporate training with different multinational and different organization. Plus, sometimes the regulator ACC also hires me for the revision sessions, P2P sessions, or teachers training sessions, right? Okay. Now, first of all, we need to make a WhatsApp group for our connection so that we can interact after this class as well, right? So our admin is sending you one WhatsApp group link, so kindly join that link so that after the class I can send you the data, I can send you these files as well, and all articles and whatever I want to send, right? Okay, so kindly join that WhatsApp group. Now, your currently the paper is SBR. The paper which you are giving is SBR. The old version was P2, and you guys are lucky that you have now lot of resources. You have lot of resources to study. You have YouTube, you have accglobal.com, which contains a lot of student support. They have given extreme support, especially for the two papers, SBR and SBL. Extreme support they have given you, right? Back in the days, I remember when I was a student, there was no such YouTube or there was no such lectures. And at that time, yes, I agree, there were few standards, not that much standard. With respect to times, accounting standards has grown a lot now. A lot of standards, there are a lot of IFRS, right? But at that time previously, there were few standards and there were few pages, but it was very difficult to find all those pages. And now there are a lot of pages, it's like 5,000 pages, and now everything is on one click. on one click. You have all webinars, you have revision days, YouTube, accglobal.com, articles, examiner report, everything, all support. Even now, after this online teaching, teachers are in your bedroom. You can just click and you can watch whenever you want, right? The slave is in front of you. Just you open your laptop and you start studying. So now you have more resources. So it's easier to score now, right? Okay. Now, few students are also giving in this attempt the remote exam. Remote means home based exam, and some are giving in on center based. But now, in majority parts of the world, this paper is CB. This strategic papers are also CBE now. Okay, so now if you are giving in your home paper or you are going to center, it's almost now CBE paper, right? So I'll also explain you the CB platform. CB platform I'll explain you. That's not a big deal. But I would request you that as this is CBE exam now, so you should run through few papers on this software. You should walk through, you should practice few papers on this software, because no doubt you guys have good knowledge. Wait. No doubt you guys have good knowledge of computer, and you all are aware of IT and all thing. I know you are expert, even you are more expert than me. This is also possible. Some of you are doing job. I agree. But still, this platform is new for some people, so they should at least practice few past papers on it, right? This is what we call jamming. I'm also a public speaker. Listen, it's sometime I do public speaking. So it is advisable for public speakers, so to visit the place before the speech. Even I have done this. For example, I have a speech at 8 p.m. So what I do, I go before 1 hour and I just walk on that stage. So it gives you a practice. This is what we call jamming, right? So always solve mock paper, at least one or two mock exam, especially for last 2 3 days. Give time for mock exam. One more advice I would like to give you: it's very good if you do written practice. You solve complete past papers, like do typing and or in on paper pen you are doing. That's very good, it's advisable. But for the last 3 4 days, what you should do, you should solve the complete kit orally. You should listen my words, these are golden words, please. You should solve the complete kit orally. How to do oral kit? So what the question, see the question, think about the answer, close your eyes, think about the answer, then read the answer, then again see the question, think about the answer. Just walk through the whole kit in last 3 4 days. This will give you idea of everything. Why I'm saying this, listen. Because in your almost all exam technique sessions, all teachers training sessions, what they say that depth for this paper, strategic papers, depth is important, breadth is important than depth. Breadth is important than depth, because this is a white paper, lot of things. So you must have some knowledge of all topics. That's better. You should not do like this, that you only grip on few topics in depth and leave rest of the topics. Even I'll prove this thing to you in this today's class. Today I will be going on the section B. I will be solving a paper of a question of section B. Normally it is the examiner comment that students don't score that much good in section B. Section B is more challenging. More general, right? So breadth is important than depth. So you must have idea of everything, little knowledge of all topics, so that you can easily do it, right? Even you also know this, those who have done past papers, attention students, they know in SBR and this level, you have you have you have in one question, in one part, there are sometimes 3 to 4 standards, 3 to 4 accounting standards are tested one time at once. So definitely you have breadth of knowledge, right? So that you can easily do it. One more question students ask. that, sir, because of COVID, you know, because of COVID, there are some changes, some little changes in accounting standards. There are standard board issued some guidance for COVID accounting, like for IS 10, IS 36, little guidance for COVID accounting. And I've also recorded this class, COVID class, back last year. So some students think that this COVID thing may be tested in current issue. Some students think that this COVID thing may be tested in current issue, but what I say, it's not part of current issue. It's about the real world. We are in COVID now. We are in this pandemic. So this pandemic is part of your normal course, not current issue. Current issue is about future. Current issue is about future accounting. Those accounting standards which are going to be launched, that something is current issue, right? So COVID thing, because in last from June 2020, June 2020 to March 2021, we haven't seen any question on current issue for COVID, right? So that's because COVID is now current thing. It's not future thing. And ACCA qualification makes you aware about the future, right? So current issues are futuristic thing. Are you getting right? And now don't forget that there are two phases of your studies. First of all, you all of majority of you has taken classes. So first of all, you make your base in the class. Obviously, in your exam you need to write standard as well. There you need to copy paste. You need to copy paste few lines of standards, right? Like IS 37, there are three conditions: present obligation, probable outflow, liable estimate. You need to copy paste something, right? So you get those data in the class starting the basic training. And then the second phase is past papers, the revision days and the past paper sessions, right? These papers are very important. In this, you read real life scenarios, real life questions, and then with that real life question, you copy paste some information from the question, and then you use your knowledge. Look at here, you use your knowledge and you combine it with your judgment, and you answer it. Remember, in SBR, it is written on teachers training sessions and lot of places in SBR. If you are right, you are right. If you are right, you are right. If you are wrong, still you may be right if you have argument. If you are going to give the logic, if you are going to prove your point of view, still you will get the marks. So this is officially announced by ACCA markers and examiners that in SBR level, because this is not operational level paper, this is strategic level paper. In this paper, you may have multiple answers, but if you are going to give some logic, you will definitely get a mark. You will definitely get a mark. You will definitely get a mark, right? Okay. Now I'm not going to waste time. In front of me there is a exam software. The real exam software is in front of me. You guys must know that this is a 3 hour 15 minutes paper, and for reading all these things they will give you 10 minutes time. Listen very carefully. This is, yes, wait. Okay, this is a 3 hour 15-minute paper, and for to read all these things you will be given 10 minutes time. Okay, now let me run through it. Now we are going next. See, these are some general instructions. These are some general instructions. See, exhibits, requirements. I'll just show you this, right? Even you can highlight, see this. You can highlight the text as well. You can also do copy paste. That's a very good option. You can always do copy paste. That's a very good option. Listen, if you want to copy something from question to answer, yes, you can do it. If you want to copy something from question to scratch pad means the pad in which you can do rough working. Listen very carefully. Those who are taking home based exams, those who are taking home based remote exams, they are not allowed paper and pen to do rough working as well. Listen. So student, look at here. so they have to do working in Scratchpad, right? But listen, in SBR level, especially the 85-80% area is theory, so you are not required to use Scratchpad more as compared to practical papers, but still yes, there will be Scratchpad. Okay, so you can always do copy paste, you can always do copy paste in, you can always do copy paste in this software. That's the good thing in your exam. One more thing, I teach ICW corporate reporting as well. Listen, and I have a friend in UK. He teaches in Kaplan College. He always we sometimes discuss, because he also teaches the same papers as I do, like SBR and corporate reporting. Please turn off your camera. Please, all of you, please turn off your camera. Thank you. So he also teaches these papers. He says sometime one thing to me, and in my class I have also seen this, that in ICW corporate reporting paper is an open book exam. Open book exam. You can take your book. In ICW paper, you need to copy things from your exam folder. Normally, students take their exam folder, exam file. And in SBR paper, you need to copy things from your question. You need to copy things from your question. It happens many times. You need to copy things from your question, right? So that's the easy part of SBR level, right? You have to copy. That's why copy paste option is available. Copy paste option is available. Copy paste option is available, right? Now I'm going to the next slide. Now, this is something, see, navigation. What is navigation? Listen, majority of you have already given paper on CB, like skills module, so they know, but still I'm telling you something. Navigation, what is navigation? If you want to jump directly from question number 1 to 4, yes, you can. 1 to 3, you can. So through navigation, you can simply jump from one question to another. One more thing, what is flag for review? Flag for review. If you, let us say you have solved one question and you are not sure that you have done correct, you have some doubt in that question, so you will just do flag for review, so it will be highlighted and you can come back again and you can do it, you can correct it later on, or you can see it later on, so it will remind you there is something is fishy in that question, right? Okay. Now, calculator, yes, calculator is still, calculator is also part of your exam and it is inside this software. You can use this software as well, or you can use a separate calculator, physical calculator. But listen, this is cell phone is not allowed, cell phone is not allowed. Better you use your own calculator, better you use your calculator, right? Now, Scratchpad, I've already told you. Navigator, I have told you that yes. Now, these are the toolbars. Okay, one more thing. You can always also highlight, you can also highlight your text in the question. You can also highlight the text in the question. Now, on the left hand side of the screen, this is the sample practice exam. And in the live exam, see, this is the right hand side is the live exam. With, if you are not giving your paper and you are just doing a practice, so the left hand side type highlight you can do. But if you are giving a live paper, real paper, so see this right hand side live, see this, the grayed out text, can you see? This will happen. Now see, now if I click yes, I will enter in the exam. Okay, and once you have entered in the exam, your timer will start. 3 hour 15-minute timer will start. Obviously right now there is no timer, because we are just practicing. It's not the real exam, but in the real exam you will have 3 hour 15-minute timer, and once you have started the timer, after 3 hour 15 minute, your exam will be closed. Okay, so let's enter. You know, section A and section B, 50-50 marks each. Now this is the real exam in front of you. It's like real exam in front of you. In my software, I have added few questions. Definitely in the exam you will have 4 questions in the exam, my dear students. Yes, somebody is asking about the current issue. Don't worry. I will provide you. I have many current issues. I have lot of revision days already recorded with me, okay, latest revision days even. So I will share you on your WhatsApp group. Don't worry, after the class, okay. Don't you worry about it. Even I'll share my contact details with you guys as well. Now, so I need to go through. I don't want to do this first question. Today's my target is another question, so I did next. Wait, again next. One more time next. Yes. Okay, so now finally we are on our question. This question, from where I have taken this question? I have taken this question from your pilot paper. You know, when they launched SBR paper, listen to me students, when they launched SBR paper, they launched a pilot paper in the beginning of the SBR paper, I still remember. And you know, just after that just after that pilot paper, the first attempt was September 2018 attempt. And believe me, many parts were same as pilot paper in September to 2018 attempt, right? Okay, so let's do this part. This is question number 3. That means from section B. That is from section B of that pilot paper, okay, right? Please be very focused. You are on the final days. You have just 15-20 days left in your exam, so it's better you concentrate. Now see, first of all, you have, first option is exhibits. In exhibits you will see the data. You will find the data related to the question. You will find the data related to the question. You will find the data related to the question. You will find the data related to the question. Listen, then requirements, there is a separate tab for requirement, okay. And finally the answers. Response option means where you can write the answer. There are 2 options. The first one is WordPress and the second one is a spreadsheet. The first one is WordPress and the second one is a spreadsheet, okay. Now, sir, what will you recommend? You will recommend us to use both. If you really want to use, you may, but don't forget one thing. In SBR level, SBR paper, 80 to 85% things are theoretical based. So it's, you have to use the WordPad. 90%, 80% time you have to use the WordPad. So it's better you solve complete paper in WordPad. It's better you use complete paper in WordPad. So now you will ask, sir, but what about consolidation? In consolidation, sometimes there are practical working, like in the last paper, I think March, no, sorry, December 2020, December 2020 paper, there were some cash flow working. So you need to prepare investing on and financing activities for cash flow. So sir, it is easy to do it in spreadsheet. Yes, if you want to use a spreadsheet, but do proper marking, do proper connections, working 1, working 2, and write the reference that I have done this thing in a spreadsheet, so that it is easier for marker to check. But one advice from my side, that if you don't want to use a spreadsheet, do complete working on WordPress. Why? In WordPress there is an option of table. Let me show you. See, this is the WordPress. See this. You write this. Wait, let me extend it. You can see, you can change the size. You can move it. Now, there is an option of table. See, let us say you need to make this much table. 3 times 8. See, this is the table in front of you. Now you can do it like this. You can write cost of investment. Okay, for example, it's 5,000. Just for an example, I'm telling you, less, you will write less fair value of net assets, and so on and so on. So you can do complete thing, and you can use your physical calculator, and you can do everything in just one WordPress, right? This is allowed. Yes, in the exam teachers training session, even the UK office conducted by UK ACC office, they allowed it, and they used a very good words. They said, it's like eating food. It's like eating food. You can, some people eat food with their hands, some use spoons, some use forks, some use chopsticks. So the objective is you have to fill your stomach, right? So you can solve the complete paper on Word. You can solve the complete paper on Word. You can solve the complete paper on Word, right? Right? You can solve the complete paper on Word. And even I would love to do it on Word. Yes, little formulas you can show. One question, sir, we need to show some formulas like to calculate the present values. Yes, if you want to, but it's this is a strategic level paper, a strategy, very senior level. Like, think about that you are in the boardroom. So basic workings are not mandatory, right? Very basic workings are not mandatory. So student, this is your WordPress. Now let me move to the questions. Exhibits. See, this is the question. You have the question here, and you can always change the size. You can always change the, so let me increase it. Let me increase it. See, this is the first part of your question. 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 Okay, right? This, I think this question is not in your new exam kit, so it's better you concentrate on the screen. That's enough for you guys. And if you want to take the pic of this question, you can directly take from the mobile, so that you will have another screen. Okay, now don't waste the time. The time is very important, very precious. Let's start the question. Let's start the question. Nothing is difficult. uh African owns several farms and also owns a division which sells agricultural vehicles. It is considering selling the agricultural retail division and wishes to measure the fair value of the inventory of vehicles for the purpose of sale. Yes, whenever you try, whenever you take this decision that you need to sell your division, so it is the requirement of IFRS 5 to bring it to fair value less cost to sell. Remember, right? So that's why, but this is not the question of IFRS 5 strictly. This is purely IFRS 13. But we all know that when it comes to held for sale, fair value is needed. Fair value is needed. Okay. So that's why they need to calculate the fair value. Now, three markets currently exist. Three market currently exist. African has transacted regularly all three markets. Yes, all three markets are accessible. All three, the company is African, and all three markets are accessible. They are doing okay, relevant markets. Now, the first one, at 31st December X5, African wishes to find the fair value of 150. See, 150 new vehicles, 150 new vehicles which are identical. Yes, all are same. So just calculate the fair value of one and just multiply it by 150. You will get the answer. That's it. Now, the current volume, the current volume, and the current volume and prices in the three markets are as follows. The current volume and prices in the three markets are as follows: Europe, Asia, and Africa. The sales price is also given per vehicle sales price. The first column, historical volume sold by. See, this is the biggest fraud. Historical volume. So wait, wait. No. Historical volume sold by African. This is the big dodge. And then read the third column, total volume of vehicles sold in the market. Yes, this is relevant. This is relevant. If you remember the standard, if you guys remember the standard, IFRS 13, the principal market is the market with highest level of activity. Principal market is the market with highest level of activity, highest level of activity with highest level of activity. Okay, it doesn't mean that we have sold the highest number of goods there. No, the actual number of units sold in that market must be higher, right? It doesn't mean that we have sold the highest number. No, our sales are not relevant. The sales, the total sales, because now everything is from market perspective, market participants perspective, right? Now, which are the, okay, the transaction cost per vehicle, this transport cost, this per vehicle, this is also. Now African wishes to value the vehicle to 39,100 per vehicle, as are the highest net proceeds per vehicle. Now this is the mistake, basically there is an order, of selecting market. First of all, we always go for principal market. Principal market is the market with highest level of activity, highest volume, the highest liquidity. That means the highest liquidity. You go there and you can immediately sell it. You can, because there are a lot of sellers and buyers are there, right? Okay, so what they have done, they have just skipped the order. They have just skipped the first step. They directly go for most advantageous market. Now what is the requirement? What they are saying, African wishes to understand the principle behind the valuation of the new vehicle, and also their valuation would be acceptable under IFRS 13 fair value measurement. Now they need to understand, the fair valuation thing, that how to calculate fair value, what are the basics of fair value, and finally whether this treatment is correct or wrong, whether this treatment, definitely this treatment is wrong, this treatment is wrong. Okay, yes, somebody is asking that recording is available after. Yes, I'll try, don't worry, I'm recording the class, don't worry, you just concentrate, please, you just concentrate. Thank you. So this was the first part. Now let's check the requirement. This is the, yes, the requirement is also included in this part, because I have personally typed this question. Okay, in the examination, the requirement will be in this tab. The requirement will be in this tab, as this question is copy pasted by me. My admin department copy pasted it, so that's why the requirement is in the same part. Right now, I give you just this is the question, and you guys are not zero guys. You already have done something. So I would request you to just think about it, that how will you plan this answer. Let me give you one very special advice for all theoretical papers including SBR. There is a big mistake a student do. They just simply read the question and they start it. And after 1 or 2 minutes they just stop. They don't have words to write. Because why? Because they don't do planning. What is planning? Listen, you read the question, and you normally, majority of you are giving in the center based majority, or some are giving in remote. So for example, you have, see this video, you have this paper. What you will do, you will make the pointers, small pointers, that first of all I'll write this, then this, just few lines, few points. First of all, I'll write the definition of fair value, then I'll write about the markets, then principal market, then most advantageous market, then application, then conclusion. That's it. If you have made this plan, yes, you are investing your time. You must have a big heart. You are investing your time for planning the question, for planning the solution. Once you have made the plan, now don't need to see the question. Now there is no need to see the question. Just see this page of planning page, and just simply start typing, tuck, tuck, tuck. Question is done. But if you go without planning, then this is possible. Not every time. Listen, it may be possible that you got stuck in the mid of the question, right? So this is advisable for theory papers like SBR, SBLF, all these papers. Now, so what should be the plan? What should we, first of all, standard has given us, told us about the two market, the principal market and most advantageous market. The first priority is principal market. Principal market is the market with highest level of activity. That means the highest level of liquidity. So can you see which market is principal market in this question? Definitely Asia. Asian market is principal. See, Asia, the units are 750,000. In Asian market, the units are 750,000 units, 750,000 units, right? Okay, so this is the principal market, and yes, it's in your access. So you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to go anywhere. Now you have selected the principal market. The next step, calculation of fair value. Calculation of fair value. How to calculate fair value? For fair value, listen my words, only look at market based factors. Only look, go to market based factor, ignore entity based factors. Ignore entity based factors. What is entity based factor? Listen, transaction cost is an entity based factor, because designing the transaction is in the hand of entity. Designing the transaction is in the hand of entity. That's why transaction cost is an entity based factor, and it should be ignored in the calculation of fair value. It should be ignored in the calculation of fair value, right? Okay, you getting? One more thing, transaction cost. Listen to me and open your ears, open your eyes. Transaction cost, listen, transaction cost is not the characteristic of that asset. It is the characteristic of that transaction which you can up and down. So it's not the characteristic of asset. That's why it should be ignored in the calculation of fair value. But yes, transport cost is relevant. Why? What's the logic? Because listen, now according to this new standard, you assume that you are going to sell in the market. You are going to sell the product in the market. So going to market is a relevant cost. Going to market is a relevant cost, right? Okay, so students, your final answer is 38,000 is the selling price. 38,000 is the selling price of this principal market. And what is the transport cost? 700. So it's very simple. 38,000 minus 700 is 37,300. 37,300 is your final fair value per vehicle. 37,300 is your final fair value per vehicle. Okay, now, how, this is the answer I've told you. How will you will go through it? How you will approach it? Very simple. First of all, you will write the most famous definition of fair value. Then in the definition of fair value, there is one word, orderly transaction. You will define a little one line to the orderly transaction, that it should not be forced sale, it should not be urgency sale, unit of account must be appropriate, right? Parties have proper knowledge. Then it is written that market, listen, that now fair value is a market based thing. So which market? There are two markets. Number one is principal market, number two is most advantageous market. The first priority is principal market with highest level of activity. But yes, if if you don't have access to the principal market, or if there is a tie between two markets, if, kindly close the camera please, if there is tie between two markets, then you should go for most advantageous market. The market with highest net proceed. Okay, right? So these are the starting of the standard, the state the rule. And finally you will write the conclusion, you will write the application, that Asian market is the market with highest level of activity. So that's why Asian market we have selected, and the fair value should be 38,000 minus 700. 38,000 minus 700 multiply by 150. If you multiply it by 150, you will get the total answer, right? Finally, in the end, you need to address the transaction cost, that we must ignore transaction cost, because transaction cost is an entity-based factor. Transaction cost is an entity-based factor. And now, according to IFRS 13, entity-based factor should be ignored. Or you can say transaction cost is the characteristic of asset. Sorry, transaction cost is not the characteristic of asset. It's the characteristic of that transaction. That's why it should be ignored. Okay. So this was the plan. Now let's start it. Let's start. Now, right? According, sorry. Let me come. Wait. Okay, now it's perfect. According to IFRS 13, fair value is defined as exit price to sell an asset or price paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at measurement date. Okay, this is your fair value. This is the definition of fair value. Now if you want to, if you wish to define orderly transaction, then orderly transaction means that there should be no, wait, number one, no forced or urgency sale. Number two, participants must have good knowledge of products. Number three, unit of account must be appropriate. Sorry, there is some. Okay. How is my typing? Is my typing okay? Slow or fast? Please give me feedback. Is my typing okay or zero typing? It's perfect. Yes, yes. Well, you know one thing. I don't look at the keyboard. When I was a kid, I was 10 years or 12 years old. I just worked 15 days on typing tutor. I learned it through a software, and I never look at the. I don't look at the keyboard. I just look at it towards the screen. All alphabets are remembered here. This is a super brain. Now, oh, what happened? Sorry. Oh, wait. Yes, unit of account must be appropriate. Now, according to IFRS 13, fair value should be calculated with reference to market. Now, which there are two markets recommended by IFRS 13. Number one, principal market. Number two, most advantageous market. Now, principal market is the market with highest level of activity. Okay, principal market is the market with highest level of activity. IFRS, according to IFRS 13, first priority should be given to principal market, but if we can't access principal market, or there is a tie between markets, then most advantageous market should be selected for the computation of fair value, right? Okay. Now let me define in one line the what is most advantageous market. Most advantageous market is the market with highest net proceeds. Now that's too much for state the rule. That's too much for state the rule. You know, we start with the state the rule. First of all, we write the highest. That's too much. Now let's connect. As Asian market is the market with highest level of activity, that's why fair value should be calculated with reference to Asian market. The fair value is selling price less transport cost, and that is 38,000 less 700, which is equal to 37,300 per vehicle, right? That's it. Now, and how many vehicles we have? 150. How many we have? 150, please. So 150 vehicles multiplied by 37,300, you will get the total. If you want to do it, wait. Can you anybody tell me the total? Five 559500. If you don't want to write this total, it's okay. No issue. Right now, what was the mistake in the question? In the question they have, listen, in the question they have directly taken the most advantageous market, which is unacceptable. What was the name of the company? The name of the company was African. Used most advantageous market which is unacceptable. Okay, now finally, also transaction cost must be ignored in the computation of fair value, because transaction, its entity based factor plus transaction cost is not the characteristic of asset or liability. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Okay. So in this way, you'll approach the question. So I say one thing. Software is not a big deal. To be very honest. To be very very honest. Yes, one question. If you got typo error, it will be no 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 no. You are basically, even it's not a typing test. Honestly, it's not a typing test. You are on a strategic level. Even you can do spelling mistake. Little these mistakes are allowed. No issue. No issue. This is the test of your advanced knowledge, not your basic skill. It's not grade 10 paper, or you. It's not O levels, A levels, or high school paper. Or no no. It's not like that. So it's okay. It's okay. Right? So I'll try to find save this file, and I'll send you guys after the end of the class. Okay, so you don't need to copy it. Be professional. Be professional. Okay. Did you understand this part? Please hit the chat box. If you understood this part, come on, come on, come on. Hit the chat box quick. Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, let's go to the question again. See, next part is also related to IFRS 13. Next part is also related to IFRS 13. IFRS 13. Listen, 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 listen. Students, if you remember in IFRS 13, when you guys studied IFRS 13, you have definitely done this part. That there are two types of assets. That one is financial assets, the second one is non-financial asset. First, let me explain. Financial assets are normally cash, contractual right to receive cash, cash receivables, like this, right? So with financial asset, for example, you have a cash, you have receivables. So what, you can only get one benefit from financial asset, that is receivable. From receivable you will get the cash, from receivable you will get the cash, right? Okay. So for financial asset, normally there is one use. For financial asset, normally there is one use. But look at me. But for non-financial asset, like PPE, like land, like building, like machines, there are multiple uses possible. For example, if I take the example of land, I can do cultivation on land. I can live on land. I can do resident, use it for residential purpose. I can use it for commercial purpose, and so on so forth, right? Right. So now what standard says, that first of all, keep one thing in mind, in your mind, insert this thing in your mind, that now this complete fair value model is market based, it's not entity based. Think about market participant. For each and everything, think about market participants, from the angle of market participants. Be a common man. Don't go for entity based factor. So now, whenever we are going to calculate the fair value, whenever we are going to compute the fair value, listen students, of non-financial asset, you should calculate fair value using highest and best use. Using the highest and best use, you should go for that fair value which is calculated by using the highest and best use of that asset. Even you are not using in that way. For example, I'm using that asset for residential purpose. I'm using that asset for residential purpose, but and for with residential, with the current use, the fair value is $1 million. The fair value is $1 million. But if I demolish this property and I start cultivation, so let us say this is a very fertile land, so I can make more money from this land, and then the fair value is $1.2 million. So standard says although you are using it for residential purpose, but you should calculate the fair value using highest and best use. Highest and best use. Why? Because a normal market participant goes for profit maximization. A normal common man, always we all go for maximization of wealth. That's our objective, right? But one thing more is here, that whenever you see alternative uses, listen, whenever you see alternate uses, so you should keep three things in your mind. You should keep three things in your mind. Number one, that use is physically possible. That use is physically possible. Number two, that use is legally permissible. Use your mind. That use should be legally permissible, right? And the third thing is that uses financially feasible means you need to incorporate all the cost of changing the use, listen. For example, right now there is a bungalow on the land. Right now there is a house on the land. So if I'm thinking for alternate use, if if I'm thinking for alternate use, so definitely I need to demolish the, if I'm thinking for the cultivation use, so I need to demolish the structure. So in order to demolish the structure, there is a cost. So that cost should be incorporated. Cost should be incorporated in the fair value. That cost should be deducted from the new fair value calculation, right? Okay, right. So these 3 points must be in your mind, that it should be physically possible. Giving you an example, for example, I have just 100 yards plot. So can I make a high rise building on 100 yards? It's not literally possible, a high rise building on just 100 yards. Yeah, right. Similarly, legally permissible, the students attending this class are from the different parts of the world, and especially in developed nation there are very strict rules. Even in developing nation, these rules are always strict, that you can't use your residential area, you can't go for commercial use, or in residential area you can't do cultivation. There are many restrictions. So if there is a legal restriction on certain use, then obviously you can't go for it. If there is a legal restriction on there is a legal restriction on a certain use, then definitely that use is irrelevant. Okay, so I've given you a detailed lecture. Now let's read it and let's solve it. Now, african african uses african uses the revaluation model for its non-current asset. Africant has several plots of farmland which are unproductive. Land is a non-financial asset. Open your eyes. Land is not a financial asset, is a non-financial asset, right? The company feels that the land would have more value if it were used for residential purposes. There are several potential purchaser of the land, but the planning permission, see this line, very $1 million line. But the planning, wait, but the planning permission has not yet been granted for use of the land for residential purpose. This is the key point. Yes, we'll discuss this issue. Yes, we will discuss this issue. But to be very honest, this planning permission has not yet been granted, so it's not legally allowed by the year end. Okay. Now, however, preliminary inquiries with the regulatory authorities seems to indicate that planning permission may be, read the word, may be granted. Still, there are some chances. So if it is a high probable chances or virtually certain chances, then it's okay. But if you are just saying possible chances, then obviously the auditor won't allow you to go for that use. Okay. Additionally, the government has recently indicated that more agricultural land should be used for residential purpose. Yes, this is just an indication. Again, government indication means it's just an indication, it's not a confirmation, right? So yes, we'll discuss this issue, but if I go for conclusion, I would say that this residential use is not legally permissible, right? Africant has also been approached to sell the land for commercial development at a higher price than for the residential purpose, and understands that fair value measurement of a non-financial asset takes into account a market perspective. Now wait, they have been approached, African company has been approached by some buyers, and they want to buy it for commercial development. Listen, do you think, is there anything written that for commercial development, that is this property is allowed to use for commercial work? Is there any point written for commercial? No. So definitely legally it's not even legally permissible for commercial thing. It's not even legally permissible for commercial thing, right? Okay. So what will be our conclusion? Go very slow. What will be our conclusion? If for the other uses, definitely right now the property is a farmland. Property is a farmland. So the other uses, the alternative uses are residential or commercial, like, right? So if the other uses are not legally permissible or physically possible, then definitely IFRS 13 says your current use is presumed to be highest and best. Presumed to be highest and best use. Presumed to be highest and best use. Okay. Now I've just discussed the question. I'm keep quiet now for 1 minute. You guys just plan the answer on a page, and on page, paper and pen. Come on, plan it. How will you approach it? How will you write the state, the rule, and then application? 1 minute you have. You guys have 1 minute. Come on, boys and girls. Please plan it. Plan it. Okay. Now this is just 7 marks part. And listen, you just think like that you have almost 1.8 minute per mark. Okay. So if it's a 7 mark question, so 7 times 1.8 is almost how much? 13 minutes, 12 and a half or 13 minutes, right? So in this 12 and a half or 13 minutes, you need to read the question, you need to plan the question, you need to write it as well. Okay. So no need to write extra things, just like relevant, that's the best approach. I already taught you this thing. No need to go in depth, right? Okay, so let's start. For financial asset, there is normally one use, but for non-financial asset, more than one use possible. That's why IFRS 13 says for non-financial asset, go for compute fair value using highest and best use. Even we are not using that way, okay? Because fair value is computed using the perspective of market participant, okay? But for alternate use, three conditions must meet. Number one, physically possible. Number two, legally permissible. Number three, financially feasible. Okay, means that should be that use should be possible by all above means, right? Now this is just the state the rule. This is just the state the rule. Currently what African, yes, using it for cultivation, using land for cultivation. The alternate use which may give more fair value is residential use. Although government has given indication, see, I'm copying the question, I'm going to copy the question, you have to copy the question. Indication that more farm land should be used for residential purpose, but by the end of the reporting date, there is no permission granted. That's why we can say it's not legally permissible, right? Now, what else was left? Wait, let me go to the question. See, should be used, and they have also used the word that inquiries also suggested that the permission may be granted. See, Also, inquiries suggested that permission may be wait wait okay. Also, inquiries suggested that permission may be granted, but there is no high probability of this, right? So, but by the end of the reporting date, there is no permission granted. That's why we can say it's not legally permissible, right? So this point we have rejected. Now, also some commercial buyers have also shown intention, but again, there is no legal permission has been given for that. In now, in such scenario, if alternate use looks impossible, then IFRS 13 says that current use is assumed to be highest and best use. That's it. So in the starting, you need to write the state the rule that for non-financial asset, multiple uses are possible. Non-financial asset, more than one use is possible. So when more than one use is possible, you have to calculate fair value using the highest and best use. Even you are not using in that way, no issue, because now everything is market based. Market participants, you need to see things. From the angle of market participants, right? Okay. Now, finally, this is all application thing. This is all application. And finally, the last line is conclusion. Yes, there is a question. What if from three factors discussed, if one of the, yes, if even if one of the factor is not met, if one of the factor has not met, then you can't use, you have to fulfill all these three. But yes, accept this reality. This is a judgmental discussion. This is even SBR. In SBR paper, there are a lot of areas which are fishy, judgmental discussion. Okay. It's like, I sometimes say to my students, listen to me, it's like a court case. We start gathering evidences, and when we get majority evidences or 80-70% evidence, then we give the conclusion. That's it. It's not like a black and white. It's not like pure black and white. It's a strategic paper. Different point of views. Even in real life, when you go for discussion, practical discussion, there are different point of views. So it's like that. One more point, if you need to add, I'm now telling you extra point. Listen, and it all depends on time as well. Sometimes student says that whatever solution you are giving, we have to write exactly like that. No, it's all contingent. Be always keep this plan B or contingent approach with you. that if you are running lack of time, you have just half an hour and one question, then you will only write, even now you don't need to write state the rule. Now the planning says just go for this conclusion, the application and planning, and the conclusion, quick, because you have half an hour, right? So similarly, just wait. Today I got many messages that, sir, I have started studies from now, only 15 days are left, so now I won't say him to watch my all lectures. No, you don't have time. You don't have time now. So plan accordingly. Be it, we have seen this in our COVID, that be flexible, try to change your decisions. We never know what is going to happen, right? Okay. And this thing is important for your practical life as well, students. Did you understand this part? Come on, hit a message. Yes, it's enough. It's more than enough. 7 marks, it's more than enough. Did you understand? Did you understand? Please hit a message. Please. There is a question, sir, what do you mean by flexible? Flexible means, you have seen flexible slim boys, they can dance. Flexible means that adjustable, you can adjust everywhere, right? Now listen. Wait. Now, this is the third requirement. This is the third requirement, students. Students, this is the third requirement. African is about to hold its annual. This is now, see, just because of this requirement, I'm teaching you this question. This is the general part. This is the beauty of SBR paper. What we do, we non-stop read financial, and we do many classes of financial instrument, IFRS 2, IS 19, all the day, notes. But when you go to the practical paper, there is a lot of general discussion, lot of common sense. See this, how general this paper is, right? This is the pilot paper, because when SBR was launched, there was no previous same past paper for SBR. Yes, P2 past paper was there, but no more SBR past paper. So this was the only paper at that time. This was the only paper at that time. Now, African is about to hold its annual general meeting with shareholders and the directors. There is some non-professional typing. Obviously, this typing is done by our team. This is not examiner typing, okay? The guy has forgot to give spaces. Okay, and the directors wish to prepare for any potential question which may be raised at the meeting. So we are going to prepare ourselves for the meeting. There is an AGM. The people will ask question. In the AGM, directors and auditors are here. The public is in front of you. There have been discussions in the media over the fact that the most relevant measurement method, this is the keyword, most relevant measurement method should be selected for each category, of assets and liabilities. Now, what is the, listen, most relevant measurement method means how to measure an asset. Listen, you have done IS 16, use your brain. You have done IS 16. Yes, IS 16 gives you two models, cost model and revaluation model. You have done IS 40. Yes, IS 40 gives you two models, cost model and fair value model. You have done IS 38. Yes, IS 38 also gives you two measurement models, cost model and revaluation model. You have done, listen, you have done IFRS 5. In IFRS 5, when it is about to when you are about to qualify for held for sale, then yes, fair value measurement. Wait, If in consolidation, when you acquire, open your eyes, please. In consolidation, when you acquire a running business, a subsidiary, it is mandatory to bring it to fair value. Then fair value measurement is there. In financial instrument, open your ears. In financial instrument, in financial instrument, if you check the classifications of financial asset, then majority is fair value, but yes, there is amortized cost classification as well. So this is different measurement methods. These are different measurement methods, right? Okay, so what do you think, guys? So this is about most relevant measurement method. Listen, the mixed measurement approach is used by many entities when preparing the financial statement. Read it. Yes, in this current world, student, open your eyes. In this current world where we are in right now, the mixed measurement approach is used. And you have studied the standards. Yes, you have studied. In IS 16, two methods are allowed, two approaches allowed. 42 approaches, 38 two approaches. Financial instrument, yes, amortized cost and fair value approach. So yes, till now in this world there is a mixed measurement approach. There have also been comments in the media about the impact that the measurement uncertainty and price volatility can have on the quality of information. Yes, this is one of the disadvantage of fair value measurement. Listen to me. This is one of the disadvantage of fair value measurement. Listen to me. Let me go practical. For example, students, for example, you are required to report an asset on fair value, and that's a highly volatile asset like Bitcoin, like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Okay. Yesterday I was reading a joke. One guy was planning to give one Bitcoin to his son. Okay, to his son. So he said, the son asked, Dad, I want one Bitcoin on my birthday. So dad said, what you will do with $15,000? $15,000. And in the next second, he said, what you will do with $16,000? And in the next second, don't you think $17,000 is too much for you? Because it keeps changing. It's highly volatile. Bitcoin is highly volatile, right? So just think, you know, your reporting date is 31st December. I hope all of you remember IAS 10. I hope all of you remember IAS 10. So just think, your year end is 31st December 2020. Your year end is 31st December 2020 reporting date, but you are going to sign off the financial statement after 3 months. So you will send the financial statement to shareholder after 3 months. So in 3 months, there will be a major change in fair value. So that means now that financial statement is again outdated for shareholders. Now that financial statement is highly outdated for shareholders because that financial statement contains the fair value of 31st December 2020 and we are in April. The price has already 100% changed, 200% change. So this, in the last line, they are talking about this. In the last line, there have also been comments in the media about the impact that measurement uncertainty, when sometimes some products are highly volatile, or sometimes when you value, listen to me, when you calculate the fair value, you have to use extreme judgments. So do you think this information is useful for shareholder? This information is reliable or relevant for shareholders? You need to comment it. Right? Okay, so this is all general discussion. I hope you got some idea of this topic. Did you get some idea or you got zero idea? Tell me openly. And did you understand the Bitcoin? Some students are saying they need break. Yes, they can take break. I'll give you them recording, no issue. They can take break. Some students need break. If somebody wants break, he or she can take. I will give the recording, no issue, no issue. Yes, yes, I'll write the answer. Don't worry. Don't worry. I always say one thing. Listen, let's tell you one thing. You know, it's be very practical. First of all, be accept some real things, accept the realities of life, accept the realities of this paper. Come out of fantasy. You all are majority of you are in fantasy that after this ACCA you will go, you will buy a Lamborghini and all the no. That's not. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Be very practical. Listen. For your first objective now is to clear the paper. Yes, knowledge is good thing, but the first objective now is to clear the paper. Clear. Yes, you need a pass. You need 50. That's it. 49 is equal to 0 and 50 is equal to 100. That's the rule. 49 means 0 and 50 is equal to 100. You need to pass. That's it. Okay. So my advice, listen, normally this is written in the examiner report that first 50 marks, from first 50 marks it's easy because in first 50 marks you have ethics as well, and ethics is 8 to 9 marks. Ethics is very easy, cash marks, it's all copy paste repeat. So out of first 50 you should score around 35 to 34 marks. You should try to score 34, 33, or 35 marks. You're getting? And the last 50 is difficult area. To be very honest, it's difficult. Yes, last 50 is difficult, unpredictable area. You don't know from where it may come. Sometimes they give you IFRS for SME, this anywhere in last, normally in last 50 sometimes they give current issue thing. Yes, we do prepare for current issue, we read articles, we do everything, but still. So first, from first 50 you should score 34 or 35, 33, and in last 50 you have to take 17 marks. That's it. That's the strategy. That's the strategy. And be happy. Okay. Now let's read the requirement. Discuss the impact of the above matters may have on the discuss the impact which the above matters may have on the analysis of financial statement by investors in African. Now we need to discuss this measurement issues. We need to discuss this measurement issue, this measurement issue, this measurement issue. Okay. Now there are, listen, this is again linked to fair value. This is again linked to fair value. If you want to take the picture of question, please, you can listen. If you want to take the picture of question, you may, because I'm going to move the screen. Now this question is about discussion on two approaches. Is about discussion on two approaches. One is mixed measurement approach. There are few people, see, this is about arguments. There are few peoples who say that mixed approach is good. For something cost is good, for some area fair value is good. But some people says no, go for fair value, total fair value. Go for total fair value. Okay. So definitely there are some good arguments for fair value, some bad arguments for fair value. Similarly, some good things for cost and some bad things for cost, some bad things for cost. Okay, right? Now let's discuss. Single measurement model, and they say to report everything on fair value as it increases the relevance of financial statements and also real gains and losses should be booked in P&L immediately. Listen, some commentators, listen. How did I start? Some competitor emphasize on single measure. There are people who says, listen. This is the last part. Don't worry. Some people emphasize on single measurement model. They say to record everything on fair value, right? Okay, everything in fair value as it increases the relevance, because you are going to report the current reality to the shareholder, plus when you record things to fair value, definitely there should be some gains and losses and which you are going to book in PNL. So your PNL will also match with SOFP. Your PNL will also match with your SOFP, right? So these are the first argument, right? Okay. One more thing, one more very special thing. Yes, going a little bit technical, but please don't be confused. If you don't get these points in exam, no issue. There are many people like you in the examination center. Center. So chill. I'm teacher. I can think more. I have a 16, 17-year experience, right? Okay. And I'm not in the examination room right now. I'm tension free. In the examination room, you will be with tension. Okay. So things, if you do mistake, it's natural. If you get confused, it's natural. Accept it. Okay. You remember one word in financial instrument. I always use this word, accounting mismatch. This is a word. So if you record everything on fair value, there will be no accounting mismatch. You can write this line as well. Accounting mismatch. Now, this is the point of view of one people. Now the second. But on the other side, some recommends mixed measurement approach. That means use, listen the word, you think over it, use the most relevant approach for that asset or liability. Now let me tell you, relax. You remember financial instrument. In financial asset, when if you go in equity market, you definitely record at fair value, because equity market, the market keeps on changing, right? So it's better you record at fair value. But in the bond market, when you give loan to somebody, listen. So there is an option of amortized cost. Because now if your business model, listen, if your business model is long term, plus you will receive contractual cash flows. Contractual cash flows means from principal, and you will pay or receive principal and interest, and you won't sell. You need to hold. So students, now the cost is best. So that means mixed approach is also excellent. One more thing, you know, in IS 16 there are two models, cost model and fair value model. Sorry, revaluation model. IS 16, property, plant and equipment. Why standard has allowed two models? Some people say this is against comparability. Some people says this is against comparability. This is against comparability. Yes, that this is the argument. But again, you know, each and every company can't afford a very highly qualified chartered accountant. In order to compute fair value, there are fees. Even normally people go to big four. So big four charges too much for the fair valuation. This is a very big business to compute fair value. For example, if you want to compute the fair value of $1 billion property, you have to pay fees in millions and like lakh pounds. So it's too much, right? So that's why they have given the option of cost model. So it's cheaper, it's cheaper, it's time saving, right? One more thing I would like to say in favor of cost. Wait, as this fair value is a judgmental thing. Fair value is a judgmental thing. You need to calculate. You have studied IFRS 13, level 1, level 2, level 3. IFRS 13, level 1, level 2, level 3. Except for level 1, level 2, and level 3, you need to use your calculator. For level 2 and level 3, you need to do adjustments. You need to do adjustments. So in fair value, there is uncertainty, there is estimations, there is judgments, there is a room for fraud. But in cost model, you are, if you are recording at original cost, it's easy to audit, it's easy to verify. You just need to see the papers, auditors just need to see the papers, and that's it. So yes, both have points. Wait, some questions are there. Now we'll write, even our current accounting standards also support mix. Now I'm going to give examples. Mix measurement approach, right? For example, number 1, IFRS 9 financial assets in bond market or receivables there are different options according to business model, right? Number 2, IS 16 cost model and revaluation model. IS 40 cost, cost and fair value model. IS 38 cost and revaluation model. Okay, getting now. In cost, as cost model increases the objectivity of financial statements, right? Because it is easy to verify the historical cost, right? On the other hand, it's difficult. On the other hand, there is some judgment involved in the computation of fair value like there are 3 levels of hierarchy for inputs. Remember, level 1 is reliable because no adjustment is done, but for level 2 and level 3, level 3, lot of adjustment is needed. That's why there is a room of manipulation in level 2 and 3. Okay, getting, please think over it, please take your time. Now one thing, even the current framework, see my argument for mixed measurement approach, I have first said that it is relevant according to the needs of that asset or liability, so you can shift, it's flexible. Yes, mixed measurement approach is flexible as well, no need to go for fair value every time. Okay, then what was my supporting argument? Then that mixed measurement approach, listen to me, mixed measurement approach is used by current accounting standard, and I've given many examples, right? Then the third thing, listen to me. Third thing, mixed measurement model is also approved by current framework, current conceptual framework, right? Also, mixed measurement model is recommended by current conceptual framework. Okay, you getting? It is also recommended by current conceptual framework. Now I have a question, and you all have to reply in the chat box. You all have to reply in the chat box. You all have to reply in chat box. Listen, I know till now, right now, the latest development says that not complete financial statement is at fair value, because yes, there are a lot of cost models. See on the screen, it is written on the screen, just 5 or 10 minutes I will take. On the screen it is written that mixed model is there, right? So the financial statement is not at fair value, but yes, there is one event when we bring complete financial statement to fair value. Can you tell me what's that event? There is one event when we bring complete financial statement to fair value. Can you guys tell me what's that event is? Yes. Excellent. Yes, take over. Acquisition, at the time of acquisition, you need to bring subsidiary to fair value. Very good. So that's the only time. You need to write it here. The only time you need to bring complete financial statement to fair value is takeover. Right now, now you need to write the go and check the requirement there. They also asked you to discuss on measurement uncertainty. They also asked you to discuss on measurement uncertainty. They also asked you to discuss on measurement uncertainty. Let's discuss it. Information, right? Reduces the reliability of that information. Plus, if the market is highly volatile, then listen, then the fair value at the reporting date, remember I gave you this example of IS 10 during the discussion of question, that the fair value at the reporting date may be materially different from the fair value when the shareholder actually receives the financial statement. FS, I'm just writing FS. See, for example, your year end is 31st December 2020, and you have to report that asset on fair value. So you reported at fair value. 31st December 2020, you brought it to fair value, but you sent the financial statement after 3 months because it takes time. It takes time. So when you send the financial statement after 3 months, and now the fair value is almost 100% or 70% change, so definitely that fair value is not that much relevant. That fair value is not that much relevant for shareholders. So now what we should do? Shall we leave the fair value? Shall we leave the fair value? No, we should disclose this fact. And obviously, yes, this is the requirement of IS 10. This is the requirement of IS 10. If there is a major fair value change, if there is a major impairment of major fair value change, then you can disclose this fact. You can disclose this fact. Then this change in fair value of volatile must be disclosed in the financial statement. Otherwise, it will be of less use to shareholder. That's it. That's it. Done. Wait. Let me enlarge it. Wait. Wait. Yes. Done. Now wait. One more thing. Please don't mind. If you write this typing in a pen and paper, it will come in 2 pages. Listen, if you write whatever I have written, if you write in using pen and paper, it will come in 2 pages. But when we do typing, it comes on a small area. So don't worry about it and don't cry, right? This is a normal perception. This is a normal perception. That's why I'm going to correct you. Yes, somebody is saying 2.5 pages. Yes, it's correct. Try so one guy is asking a very good question. Very good question. I should reply. Sir, from where to get the knowledge to write about these things? Only reading. Only reading. There are hundreds of articles now. I told you in the beginning that Examiner, accglobal.com, there are a lot of student support for SBR and SBL, especially these two papers. Read all those articles. Keep 2 or 3 days vacant just for reading the articles, right? Okay. So I hope you understood the class. You got something. Wait, the objective of these classes is to get the confidence, because taught many things in my normal course. In my normal course, there are a lot of past papers, a lot of all past papers almost I have taught in class, many, all recent consolidation questions. The objective of these classes is to give you confidence, is to boost your confidence. Are you getting that you can do it? So I've tried my best. I've tried my best to teach you. Oh, now we'll meet tomorrow as well. I'll send you the time in the WhatsApp group. I'm sure you all of you are in WhatsApp group. If you don't have my contact number, write that number in with you, 0092. Write it. Let me write here, 0092 300 2555 744. Okay, golden number for you guys so that you can easily learn. 0092 300 2555 744. Okay, so see you tomorrow with new discussions. So till then, bye bye. Take care.